In case you wanted to get started on Project One, the bilingual typography booklet, I wanted to just give you a little bit of input that you could listen to, but I'm also going to introduce the project next week. So why this project? One of the reasons is because the world has become global, we become universal in our work, and we have to be able to work with different languages than our own and to understand how to work with those languages and to leave enough room for them and space, and how do you handle two or more languages. Also, the project is important because you're learning to work with a good amount of type, which not all the projects have. So think of this as a project that is really taking all the skills and all the things that you learned in GD200 with the mascot catalog, that now you're going to get a chance to really show your skills and what you've learned since then. So if we're looking here at this part, the live research, you should have already done this. The only thing you still need to do is to arrange all of your research into your process book, which is due next week. Just to start off the project, I really want you to think about how people feel when they're immigrating to a new country. When they're unfamiliar with the language or the customs, there might be fear from past situations that they've lived in, where they're coming from, and to now where they are going. There could be anxiety about the process. There could be children and extended family that they're thinking about. And then how do you want to handle that in your work? What is the approach you want to have in your booklet? For example, would someone be more interested in seeing very familiar imagery to their ethnic background, or would they rather see new imagery that represents the United States? So that's kind of things that you'll need to think about and explore in your sketches, and also as you narrow down your ideas into your tight comps, it might be that you want to go in two different directions and then let your peers take a look and see what they think. I also think this is a great opportunity to show this to someone who is a recent immigrant and get their opinion and get what would have resonated with them, what makes them feel comfortable and accepted into this new country. I've given you links to the copy. Why don't I just see if I can actually go to that? So this would be the page that you would go to, and you can see right here on the side is you have the booklets that you can download and some of the languages that are already been done. So you obviously want to download the English version. If you're going to be doing any of these languages, you could download these. You don't need to do any of these languages. You can go ahead and throw your copy into like a Google Translate of some kind and use that. So don't feel like this is narrowing you. I do think you should kind of look around the site, because this represents who our client is right here. So you should probably just look around, see what past work they've done, read some of the copy and such. So the guidebook content has been pretty much laid out for you here. You've got your front page copy that has been given to you. You're also going to have kind of an intro page, title page, and then you're going to have a table of contents. The table of contents should list all chapters, even though we're not going to be designing all pages. Remember, you're going to go through the exact same design process that you always go through, sketches, thumbnails, then you'll do tight sketches, everything goes into your process book, all of that. You will be designing chapter 1, and there's some copy here that has to be within it, and then you will be redesigning the pages 7, 8, 11, 12, and 13. You are not required to use images for your solution, but you can, and you can use photography or you could use custom illustration. Just make sure that you have the copyright to use them. Here is the next chapter, and again there's some mandatory copy, and then on this one you can choose any 5 pages after chapter 2 to redesign. And then the last one is the chapter of your choice. Choose any 5 pages out of the booklet that you want to redesign. You will also make an through XD an app. It's only 8 screens though, but as you're designing your your booklets, you should be thinking about the app and thinking about how does the printed piece correlate over to the screen version. And then your deliverables will be the InDesign folder, zipped and uploaded to Canvas. You'll have the XD native files, a link and a video. A link and video is really important. That's probably more of what I will look at than the XD files. You're going to have your process book, PDF uploaded to Canvas. And then you want to be ready to make a presentation to the class on the day that all this is due. You're going to make a PDF of a cover and 3 of your favorite spreads, maybe quickly go through the app. So think about this presentation as something quick, just to show the best of your work, or what you learned, or what you thought was most important. All the due dates and such are on the schedule and on your calendar. Here's a breakout of how everything is graded, and then down below you can actually even see the rubric that I'll use to grade the project. Just see if I missed anything. Oh, the size. It can be any size you want. It can be any form you want. It can be, you know, a stapled booklet. It can have fold-out pages. It could be a poster if you can make that work and not be confusing. So you get to pick the size. You get to pick the page amounts. You get to pick the form. It's completely up to you. There are a lot of pages here, and you've probably heard me say before, sometimes it's better to have more pages than less pages, but you should definitely, you know, do your sketches, and that's going to help you map out the entire project. So this is just if you wanted to start thinking about it over the weekend. You could start thinking about what other culture you want to pick, what other language and such. You can start thinking about that because we'll be picking that next week.